Got it all in my shoe. Just ridiculous. All right, we're back. Got some more goodies here. Products by CSSB Incorporated. What does that stand for? Corvette stainless steel brakes. It's a long name, but it's a very descriptive one. Anyway, got to looking around for this product, and I found it in various places, but I decided to go straight to the manufacturer, and we'll talk about why this is needed in a moment. All right. What we have here is the front to rear brake line that goes from the proportioning valve in the front of the car, right here, to the rear junction in the rear of the car. My car is very short, don't you know? And apparently it's pre-bent in the package. So all you have to do is bend it back and put it on the car. Look at that, made in USA by Americans, no doubt. That's important. Not only is it made in the USA, but it's made in the USA by Americans. How about that? Item number 48, apparently. So why is this important? I finally figured out why my brake light was coming on, and it is a seeping, it's a leak there at this port right here where the proportioning valve comes into this main trunk line to the rear of the car. And it's in the flare, I think. I tried to clean it up, I tried various things, but nothing ever worked. So this has got to be replaced on the car. So that's our goal for today. Why didn't I just lop it off right here on the car and then go buy some brake line at the local parts house and just kind of splice it in? Well, for one thing, you don't want to use compression fittings because that's a no-no with brake lines. They do make splice connections. However, this is a little different. This particular fitting here is a beefy rascal. It's really thick. Even though this line isn't that big, you're not going to go to the parts house, at least I don't think you are. You're not going to go to the parts house and find a pre-made line, you know, a piece of line about yay long with this big beefy flare nut. I don't know, I think that's 9/16 threads on there. You're just not going to, I don't think you're going to find that at the parts house, because you need something that, you know, threads into the proportioning valve, well, properly. All right, well, let's go ahead and get set up underneath the car, and let's get busy. All right, we're going to start at the back. That main trunk line comes in right there. All right, I hosed that down with WD-40 a couple of days ago. Put a little more on it, see what we can do here. Got a 7/16 flare nut wrench. And we'll see what we can do here. This is going to be a challenge. It goes on there, but I can't loosen it. That's awesome. Let's see. Am I going to have to disconnect all this other stuff to do this? That may, in fact, be the case. No, that's not. All right, let me do some head scratching. Let me strategize. I don't want to take all the rest of this stuff apart. All right, I loosened the parking brake and got that parking brake out of the bracket so I could slip my wrench up there and get a hold of this affair, just barely. There we go. Got my wrench on the flare nut there. Let's see if we can break it. Yeah, I was hoping for better results. I'm gonna get a hammer. I know that sounds silly, but just bear with me. Little, you know, pneumatic action. Probably breaking everything up there. Okay, let's do something a little unruly. Ruly? Well, I don't know, let's see. I'll get a pipe on this rascal. Kind of hard to get any leverage on that little bitty wrench. There we go. That's the way you do it. Pop, pop. Fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. That's an old Alka-Seltzer commercial if you're too young to remember that. All right, I've got it popped loose. Let me go ahead and get that the rest of the way loose, and then we'll move on to the other end to get the other end of the brake line loose. How many times did I just say loose? Oh my God, why do they even let me on YouTube? All right, we're gonna work our way forward here. Got a hold down bracket right in there. It's a 1/2 inch. And this piece of wood underneath my car is in my way. So not entirely sure how I'm going to accomplish this. I think I might have to get my sawzall out and cut that away. Cut, or lower the car and, well, you get it. Anyway, start over. But I got a socket in there, but I couldn't turn it. Crow's foot maybe? I don't know. Let me do some thinking. All right, I've got a little 1/4 inch drive socket stuck on that 1/2 inch bolt up there. Vice grips. And that seems to have done the trick, albeit slowly, but it's working. Y'all can probably hear the brake fluid draining into my container down there. That's not me taking a leak. Anyway, I'll get this bolt out of here in about a year. Got this drop forged in USA, made by Arrow, and many years ago I destroyed it. I chopped down the ends and made it thinner on the sides, and I remembered that I had it in my little bag of tricks, and I reckon we'll go with it. Oh, this is much faster. All right, I've got that out of there. Let's see what we... There we go. All right, let's just move that out of the way. Might even clean it up on the bench grinder and give us a paint. Notice the leftover welding wire from 1978. But then again, automated welding on an assembly line, I don't know how prevalent that was in 1978. It probably was, but not on these cars. Anyway, you guys comment down below. Let me know what you think about that. So we've got another bracket there. And another bracket up in there. Looks like that one's gonna be fun too. And that's all. And then we take this guy loose, and then we replace the line. All right, got all the brackets off. It just leaves us with this 9/16 fitting at the proportioning valve. Of course, if we replace this and the leak persists, then it's the proportioning valve. But I don't think it's the proportioning valve. I've had it off of there, and the ports on this end don't look any different than the other ports. I think when I initially took this off a few weeks ago, I think breaking it loose just, it just was too much for that old flare fitting. We're not leaking too much. I think all we have to do now is pull that out of there, in my mind. Let's see. By the way, this is a fuel vapor line. I was gonna put some heat on that junction back there. Whoa, man, I got another bolt up in that, you sneaky, up in there. There's another bracket bolt up in there, rascals. All right, I've got to figure out how to get this thing out of here. So I believe I've got all the brackets off. Let's get your butt, there we go. Now, pull it that way a little bit. And then, let's see. How does this work? That's gonna have to, well, I ain't never done this before. Have y'all? This goes like this, like this, like this, and like that. Clearly this was put together before they put the body on. There's gotta be a way to do it. Probably hold your mouth just right and do some count to 10 and all that kind of jazz. But trying to figure out which end to go for first, I mean, it's not like I have to maintain it, intact. I can just rip it out. I mean, it's bad, right? I mean, why wouldn't you just do that? Just clip it, say to hell with it. My brain just doesn't work that way. I'm gonna try to get it out here like intact as a museum piece. I know that's stupid, but I'm gonna try to do it anyway. So we got this end free. I may just have to, the new one is bent, right? And you bend it back to put it in. So I may just have to bend this one to pull it out. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to avoid the carnage, you know. There's a bracket in the way there. That really can't go that way. One thing is if I can figure out how to get this out of here without too much craziness, then I'll know more about how to put the new one in without destroying it. That's also part of my logic. That, and I'm kind of a brake line novice, really. Well, seeing how the brake line over there is pre-bent, I had always assumed that was just to get it into the box, though. It may be dual purpose. In other words, maybe best to bend it. I believe it's bent basically right here after where this brace would go in. So if I was to take this and bend this down like that, similar to the one that came in the box, what would that do for me? I could use this to pivot. What would that do for me? Let's see. If I pivoted it, what would that do for me? I have no idea. One of the main problems is this return fuel line is basically right up in here next to it, and it's just all up in my way. I mean, it's just like, ha. It's kind of intertwined back here. I need to get them separated. So let me see if I can push the brake line onto the other side of the fuel line without taking the whole brake line assembly apart. I don't want to do that. Move that fuel line over. There we go. I want the brake line on the inboard side and the fuel line on the outboard, you know, to stay out of my way. So I got this new line here. Got some tape on either end to keep the dirt out. Well, now what you need to do, you probably need to, once this is out of here, feed this through here like that, and then go like that. And once it's like that, then you can pivot this up and then feed it in there. I think that's the way to do it. All right, well, time to start bending. All right, well, let's just, oh, awesome. Let's just piss brake fluid all over creation. This big old spring on here keeps the line from, you know, got it all in my shoe. Just ridiculous. Now, what does that do for us? All right, this is Thursday evening. Hurricane Helene is out in the Gulf of Mexico. Going to hit as a category 4, maybe. Right now, I think it's still a 2, but the only reason that's irrelevant is because the weather's changing and it's making the arthritis in my back go, hey! So I'm like really stiff right now. Okay. That didn't help. So I guess, really, I'm just gonna have to, you know, be nasty with it. Showing it who's boss instead of it showing me who's boss. That bolt wasn't in the way. What is that bolt anyway? Let's see, that's the battery compartment. That's the seat. That's the seat bolt. I guess it never really dawned on me. Not that it's in my way now, I got another inch to go. Well, I don't know if this is right or not, but I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna bend that down, push. Bend that down, push. Bend that down, push. Bend, push. Bend, push. Bend, push, bend. I just want to get this thing out of here now. I'm tired of fooling with it. There we go. I thought the spring was for protection, but I think the spring is to for ease of installation and everything. I don't even know why they bothered putting that bend in the factory. I don't know how the hell you're going to get it in there. All right, so if we bend that up like that, I think I might take that seat bolt out before I put this new line in. That thing hangs down way low, man. That sure would make my life a lot easier if that big long bolt wasn't hanging down there. Seat bolt out next. All right, we got that seat bolt out of the way now, so it's the next day, by the way. So let's see. There we go. Got that little thing right there. There's a lip right there on the frame. You get that past that. That's why I had to get the bolt out of there. Now we can practice getting this out of here. Use the old one to practice getting the new one in, and then pivot down like that. That might do something. In the end, I may have to just resort to pure carnage. Let's see, what if we do that? That's the way you do it right there. All right, so let's go back. We go back up like that. Kind of work it in there. And then you pivot like that. Yeah, so up in, pivot towards the front of the car, and then pivot towards the driver's side of the car. Yeah, that'll work. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get this new line in here now. There's, certain parts of the car underneath here that I just didn't clean. Bottom of the body shell right here is one of them. It's a little greasy from the rear main seal that had, in the power steering, and pretty much everything leaked. It's not going to hurt anything, so I don't really see a need to wipe it off. I'm not trying to win Bloomington Gold, so, I just want to drive across country in my Corvette. Okay, and look cool doing it. Okay, I like this little light. The battery doesn't last very long, so I turn it off a lot to conserve the battery. It's rechargeable, don't you know? Now, how did I do this? I can't recall. All right, so we go up in there, and then we pivot forward and then towards the driver's side. Of course, this one is bent slightly differently than the old one, but we'll make it work. Yeah, slip that in there. Yeah, that's what I figured. It'd be a little more difficult than the old one, because the old one's, well, it's different. We use some of our concepts that we learned. I see you poking through there. I know you can do it. There you go. Hey, installed. Okay, I want the fuel line on the inboard side and the brake line on the outboard side. We're going to have to bend this thing. All right, so I'm going to put this through the other end first. Let's keep this. Yeah, I figured this, carnage would probably be the end game. Well, the hard part's over with. That was the main thing I wanted to get past. The other end, I'm not worried about. My brake pipe is pointed kind of up that way, so I'll have to bend it down and get it to where it lines up and hooks up to the other end. That'll take me a little while. I'm just gonna have to fiddle with it for a good long while and get everything to line up. So after I'm done with that, I'll be back. All right, I should have known it would eventually have come to this. Had to go ahead and remove the rear flex line and remove this brass junction here. Because having this readily affixed here and trying to bring that line in and get it synced up was just, well, stupid. So I got the brass fitting. I cleaned it up on the wire wheel and got it started on that line. Now, with that in place, you can put this back on here loosely, and then you can finagle this into that hole, and then you can tie in the flex line, and then when you tighten everything up, it'll just basically draw it back into where it was located before I so rudely removed it from its 46-year-old resting spot. So anyway, progress. All right, we got the line in here. Did the best I could. It was pretty tough. I ended up having to whoop-de-doo this up in that little space right there, kind of go up in there like that because it was a bit too long on this end. gonna guess that's, I don't know. You know, nothing's perfect in this world, and is what it is. I got it in the corner best I could. It's only got about, I mean, it's not jammed way back up in there. Maybe if I was able to get it jammed way back up in there, I might not have had to do that, but you know, whatever. I'm not going to put the little brackets back on just yet. I am going to put them back on, but I want to leak test this thing first. Well, I have to pull it back out of here, and that's not the correct clip for that. Well, I lost it. I had some of these different kind in the drawer over there, so I used that. So I need to pick up a couple. I actually got one here and one there. It's supposed to be that Mickey Mouse looking style, but anyway, that's pretty minor. Anyway, we got this buttoned up here. I got a new one of these little clips here. The old one was rusted pretty bad. This line here could probably do to be replaced, but I just don't want to fool with it right now. And got all this stuff tightened up. Looks pretty good up in there. Looks better than it did. Got this one tightened up. So we get the car back on the ground and do a leak test. Well, it's the next day, and things are, well, things haven't changed. So here's what we have. I came out here this morning earlier, and there was a slight drip right here. There it is. I can see it on my fingernail. It's wet. It was bigger than that. It took all night to have like a drop right there. So, and I wiped it off. But anyway, the point is, this thing has got some kind of a micro fracture in it or something. It just continues to leak. So, went on to zipcorvettes.com and ordered a new one. So that'll be in about a week. How about that? All right, folks, I think we're going to leave it right there. I've got a new proportioning valve on order from Zip Corvettes, and that'll take about a week to arrive because I selected free shipping. Mostly because I'm tired of spending money on this restoration, and also I won't be able to work on this car until probably after next weekend. I've got to go out of town on business with the regular job. Plus, there's a big car race next weekend, and I don't want to miss it over at the Talladega racetrack. So I may do a little recording while we're there, so you guys stick around for that. All right, so this is going to be a quick video for this weekend. I appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video, don't forget to click that little bell down below. You guys have a good one, and remember to enjoy driving and restoring your classic C3 Corvette.